either way this would be very easier to code. There's one more method for doing it more efficiently. It's known by the name of Pollard row. Again, I'm not covering that. Those who are interested, they can go and read. Normally you would not be required to code Pollard row in a competition, but there are a few problems which you can go and try. In fact, there is a problem by name of divsum2 on spots. It actually asks, it's a direct problem. It asks you to factorize a number as large as 10 by 16. You're actually supposed to use both this square root and Pollard row method for factorization. So you can go and give it a try. What is time that we're left with? We have time, right? Okay. Okay, can you give a try to this problem? Choose NR is NCR. You know what an NCR is, right? This notation. P is a prime, yeah. Sorry if it's not mentioned here, but this theorem is only valid for prime numbers.
You look at modulo P, let's say you have to find n factorial modulo P.
Okay.
You look at modulo P 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And that will obviously be based with P.
Okay.
So to find n factorial, you just find 1, 2, 3 angle P, modulo P.
Alright.
And its product.
Okay.
And okay, that's raised to the power anyway 0. So the remaining things modulo P.
So can you say that again?
Fine, so you look at 1, 2, 3, 4 until P.
Okay.
Modulo P. So that we, okay, so that contains 0. So product of those things will be 0 mod P.
Okay.
So you just need to find 1, 2, 3, 4 until n minus n by p into p, floor of n by p into p.
But the problem is not n factorial mod p. You're talking about
inverse thing that you talked about.
not exactly, yeah, but fine. You can continue what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, so we reduce this to a problem. Just find n factorial mod p.
Okay.
In this, omit all powers of p.
All right.
Other than that, find n factorial mod p.
Okay.
And calculate the powers of p separately.
Okay.
That can be done separately.
Yeah.
So in split n as 1 to p minus 1, write p plus 1 to 2p minus 1 to p, so on and so forth. So you have groups 1 to p minus 1, the product will be minus 1. Same way, p plus 1 to 2p minus 1 will be minus 1. 2p plus 1 to 3p minus 1.
Yeah, true.
So you go minus 1 bar something.
Okay.
And then you can reduce it to p, 2p, 3p, 4p, etc.
Okay.
You know up to some k, you can find that k.
Yeah.
And in the end you will have one group which need not have p minus 1 terms.
Okay.
1 to p. So that product you can calculate and order whatever 10 power 4 or something. So for the numerator you do this.
What about the other part? P, 2p, 3p, 4p?
Yeah, p to p you can call this function recursively.
Okay.
Take out p and
Yeah, so that's right. So okay, what he says is that NCR is equal to this thing. This is okay, right? Good. So let us just say that we want to find what is n factorial. We want to find this mod p, right? What is n factorial mod p when we have removed powers of p from n factorial? So basically, if n factorial was equal to k into p power alpha 1, we need to find out what is k mod p. Let's just formulate this way. So if we have that, so first what we need to do is that we find out what is the power of p in n factorial, what is the power of p in r factorial, and what is the power of p in this. Let's say this is a1, this is a2, this is A3. If A1 minus A2 minus A3 is greater than 0, then the mod is already equal to 0. This is okay? If A1 minus A2 minus A3 is 0, that means NCR is P into something, right? So the mod will be equal to 0. Let's consider the case in which this is not so. One more thing. If you want to calculate the power of P in n factorial, you can note down a formula. So this is the greatest integer function. Okay, how many of you do not know what our greatest integer function is? Okay, everyone knows. Great. So this is the formula for finding out what is the power of P in n factorial. So using this formula, we find out what is A1, what is A2, what is A3. If A1 minus A2 minus A3 is greater than 0, that means the mod will be equal to 0. If it is not, then we can actually forget about this power of P. We now just concerned with K mod P. If n factorial was written like this. So to do that, n factorial would look something like this, and so on, right? And here we'll have something like n by p into till n, right? Now if we actually neglect this section, which is multiple of p, we're left with this. And since we want to calculate mod P, and we know that AB mod P is equal to A mod P into B mod P, we can replace P plus 1 and P plus 2 all with 1, 2, likewise, right? Similarly, 2P plus 1 would be replaced by 1, 2P plus 2 would be replaced by 2. So you will have some n by P groups of P minus 1 factorial. We already know from Wilson's theorem that P minus 1 factorial is equal to minus 1 mod P, right? So we will have n by P such groups, which means minus 1 to the power n by P into, now we are left with this part. Okay, and there will be one group which will not be equal to P minus 1. So we can know what this is the length of this group by doing an n mod P. Since P is small, we can know what is n mod P factorial mod P. This is fine, right? So we can calculate this separately. Let's say this is x into, now this is, if we remove this P part, this is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into till n by P. So that is n by P factorial mod P. For finding out n by P factorial mod P, we can call this function again recursively using the same method. So this way we can find out that what n factorial mod P is when we have removed powers of P from n factorial. Is this part clear? So once we have that, we can write it as n factorial mod P upon r factorial mod P into n minus r factorial mod P. Let's say we know this is x1, this is x2, this is x3, or their multiplication. Okay, so this will be equal to x1 upon x2 into x3 mod P is equal to x1 into let's say x2 into x3 is x4. So x4's inverse modulo p. We already discussed how to calculate an inverse modulo p. Actually, when the equation is ax is congruent to b mod p, we can write it as x is congruent to a inverse b mod p. A inverse is equivalent to 8 power 5 of p minus 1. This is in modular arithmetic. In modular arithmetic, A inverse is congruent to a power 5 p minus 1. All this is valid only if GCD of A and P are 1. So this is what we get. You can calculate this inverse modulo. P is a prime. So that way you will end up with the solution. Did you understand that? If you did not, then actually there's a problem on, I think it was in Google Code Jam, right?
I know one on Zeroj, I can link that.
Okay, we'll give you a problem link. You can just try it out yourself once, because with me going on and on again, you might probably not get the idea, but once you think about it, you will get it. It's not very complicated, it's fairly simple. I've already briefed you with the gist of it, so you can probably think it yourself. So try it yourself, try getting it accepted on that particular judge. That's all for the class today. We'll be stopping here now. We'll be continuing again tomorrow.